we're in the home stretch, episode 7 of the OA analysis. The first note I have, I'm going to split it in half. One half truth, one half lies. On the truth side, for number 20, I have that OA gets her premonitions back and she dreams about the shooting. But on the lies half, for number 84 in that column, I'm putting that the premonition did not have a nosebleed, and OA always said that she knew it was a vision if she had a nosebleed with it. So why is this, possibly her most important vision of all, not showing us that she had a nosebleed? Next, when OA goes back to her FBI counselor, Raheem, he suggests that her dreams could be her subconscious picking up on little subtle clues to give her a warning of things to come. And I tend to agree when anytime a professional like a psychologist or a medical doctor is saying this is what's probably going on with OA. If not, why didn't we get a nosebleed for the only premonition that we see in real time? The shooting was the only premonition that we got that wasn't part of OA's story. It was the only one that we could really verify up to this point. And while we're on the topic of OA's premonitions, why was it that, according to OA's story, the drowning was right, the shooting will end up being right, yet meeting her father in New York City at the Statue of Liberty came nothing close to being true? You can't even take elements of that as being true. She didn't meet her father, there was no birthday celebration, nothing that she saw in that vision with a nosebleed happened. Up to inconclusive for number 30, it's really weird that OA's visions are only of bad things that will happen to her. Even with the happier vision where she was going to see her father again, it was in this really odd kind of post-apocalyptic world in the way it looked. And I don't know what to do with that. Maybe it's her brain trying to warn her, or maybe it's OA trying to account for a way to explain the bad things that have happened. Now back down to the lies, number 87. OA talks about how she saw this totem exhibit when she was younger, and she made Nancy and Abel take her back 2 more times. So she went to the exhibit 3 times in total, and I put this in the lies section because do you know what a totem is? A totem is something found in nature, typically an animal, and it has a lot of spiritual significance. Like an animal that is your totem could be a spirit guide, for instance. Isn't that really odd that the thing that helps the captives escape and learn their movements are animals? And they're all different for each captive, which is exactly how a totem would work. So OA is just incorporating things she already knows into her story to make it sound more full and rich and believable. And I also noted that as OA sees the FBI counselor more, she becomes more of a counselor figure to the group of 5. She keeps giving them more advice, which to the group of 5 makes it look like OA is more and more Jesus-like and gets them more invested in her and her more invested in them, and really she's just learning what she's seen and hearing from her own counselor. After that, when Broderick-Allen asks if they have to go with OA to the other side, OA explains that the invisible river is something you have to want to jump in to leave. And if that is the case, then why is OA so concerned about the other captives? Couldn't they all do the movements and then just send Hap off to the other side on his own and they stay there? And if that is the case and people can choose whether or not to jump into the river when the dimension or portal has been open, then that should mean that OA wants to get the FBI involved all the more to try and help whoever is left behind that didn't jump into the invisible river. Otherwise, any captives that stayed behind are going to starve and die soon. Why won't she even try to help them? This doesn't make any sense. Up to the inconclusive side, I wrote down the Olive Garden girl who came up to take the picture with OA, and OA and her mom really didn't want any part of that, but she did it anyways. But the girl comes up and she makes the comment that OA had been beaten and raped. Now, I really agree with that comment, so I almost want to put it in the truth category, but it's really bizarre because OA is not talking to the press. She did not want to even talk to Pat Noller about a book, and she won't talk to the authorities. So where in the world did the information that OA had been beaten and raped come out to where this is what this random chick at the Olive Garden believes? And don't tell me that's some undercover FBI agent, because that doesn't even make any sense. Why would they want to stir her up like that? it wouldn't help the FBI to screw her up outside of her therapy, and we've seen before that the undercover FBI agents still have those weird curly earpieces in. Over on the truth side, I'm going to write down that OA was very bitter about Nancy and Abel. She and French were having that conversation in the car, and she's like, well, they medicated me, and she just seemed like a really petulant kind of brat in that moment. But it was an honest moment, so I'll give her credit for that. Where I do have concerns, though, is that Hap tortured OA. He did a lot to her, and she bears him no grudge, no resentment, which makes me feel very questionable about what is and isn't real, but for the sake of argument, I'm going to say she was very bitter at least, so there's credit for that towards Nancy and Abel. Even though they kind of seem like a logical place for OA to displace her anger. And again, I will give OA credit in the truth category that Steve stabbed OA with a pencil and OA really barely flinches. And I'm going to call that a truth because we see it happen. It's not a story that she's telling us. But I am kind of two minds about this because not flinching to me doesn't really say supernatural or holy. It more so suggests to me that OA has been through so many abusive traumas over her years of captivity that getting stabbed with a pencil was nothing in comparison, so it barely affected her. And those are all of my notes for episode 7. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed enough to like, subscribe, and share this video. I've also got a lot of other videos on my channel that you are fully encouraged to go check out. Plus, you can find me on Facebook at Say Halo Goodbye, which is my gamer tag, or Twitter at _Fanily.